Good evening, team. How we doing? Welcome back to Late Night Fix. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? How's everybody's day? Do you guys make money today? There was a lot of money to be made out there. I know that the 1348 team did fucking phenomenal. But any of you guys who aren't in there with us, how'd you guys do? How'd everybody do today? Today was crazy. We got some more craziness going into the end of the week. Tomorrow's Thursday. We're going to be getting the jobs report. There's a lot of stuff that we got to go over too. Retail selling all of their positions and then buying puts at the literal bottom, which is kind of comical if you ask me. You have hedge funds in general, like record high short interest on this market here, which we did say was why we're probably going to see this market rally up from these lows. And we didn't see that aggressive price movement to the downside. We have people calling for the Fed to pivot, which is absolute drunkenness out of all of them. Things are just wild right now. But how's everybody doing? We doing good? Everybody doing all right? More upside? We might. All right, guys. Again, since this is a public stream again at night, make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream too. It's all we ask for around here. Helps out a whole lot. Let's see. Oh, slackers. Got a bunch of slackers over here. We got a lot of stuff to go over tonight too. Any questions that you guys have too, make sure that you guys ask them here as well. We're going to be going over a lot of stuff. So, DM Ohio, what's up, man? How you doing? Yeah, shout out to all the members of the channel. You guys are awesome, man. Appreciate it. What's up, STV? Nelson. Not much, man. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. It's a Wednesday, 7:45 here. You guys get to look out at the view a little bit. It's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. It adds a little bit of scenery to the backdrop, which is nice. We got making it a little more ambiance here. Good. Saw some great results on Twitter too. Dude, people were killing it today. So let's kind of get into the SPY a little bit here. Before we go any further into some of the more macro stuff that we need to go over going into tomorrow. So pulling up the SPY right here. You saw a lot of nonsense in the morning here. Remember, we did see this little bit of a gap down. We were watching this key level here. Now, again, I personally, if you guys were on the stream with me this morning, I didn't like this move down here. I really wasn't too antsy to trade today. I didn't like it. The price action was wonky. You saw all of this chop. Then ISM comes out. You tank a little bit. And then you have to wait and see where the market's going to go. So really the move is from here to here. This is kind of a bullshit candle that happened quickly off of the data. And you get a nice little move down here. But you had to be really, really quick in and out with this before you could potentially play the rally back to the upside here. So going into tomorrow, well, we called a very, very key level here on the stream today, and it was this right here. So if you guys remember my bold and irrational SPY prediction, it was right around here, this 380. So if you pull this up here on the 5-minute, you didn't quite get there. The prediction really was that we were going to rip going into the end of the day. And then the last couple of minutes, we were just going to get mollywopped. Again, I didn't trade based off of it because I didn't foresee that happen. I just had that prediction. That was my bias going into the end of the day. If you did it, great. I didn't do it. I said, don't do it. That is what happened here, though. Now, going into tomorrow, you're going to have that key level here right around 380.50. Jobs numbers tomorrow, guys. I don't think everybody fully understands how important the economic data that is about to come out over the next couple of weeks is. CPI next week, jobs numbers tomorrow, very important. Here's why. When you see like a lot of people reading one data point and then flying into, actually, this is what I wanted to bring up in the video today that I couldn't find. I just pulled up the wrong thing. So this is going to be not macro, but it's more like money flow. So there's this Twitter account called Game of Trades that's been posting these pretty interesting, basically data charts of like overall what's happening in the market. And there was this one chart that caught my eye. This one. Number of people sitting on the sidelines is astonishing. Small speculators are now at their lowest stock exposure since 1990. So looking at this chart right here, remember what we've been saying. I just haven't been able to find the exact data on it, but here it is right here. Remember, you see bond yields start to go up and equity prices go down and the dollar going up. There's a flight to cash. Nobody wants to put money in this market right now for good reason. It doesn't make any sense to. So what you're looking at here is essentially high exposure to stocks on this red line up here, meaning that a lot of people are buying in, and you can kind of see it's coinciding with these peaks up here. And then below this green line here would be low exposure to stocks, meaning that there's not a lot of money being invested in the market. Now, when there's a data point that comes out that could point to the Fed pivoting, everybody's going to be like super antsy and be like, yes, give me more indication that the Fed could come out more dovish. I highly doubt they're going to. It makes no sense. Don, thank you so much for the super, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for all you do, SCV. Don, thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. And again, people, if you don't mind hitting that like button on the stream, helps out a whole lot over here. What am I drinking? Water, bro. It's a Wednesday. Bing. Let's see. So looking again here, that's this I don't really give a shit about. This one. Hedge funds and asset managers are record net short U.S. equity futures. As you can see here, now this is the data as of 9/20/2022, and I would expect this to come back to neutral once this data gets released again, because we saw a lot of this nonsense here. Pulling this up on the daily time frame here, I mean, you can see that this is just such an aggressive move off these bottoms here. It might continue for a little bit. You might continue to see some of these shorts getting out of their positions. But we'll see. We have this key level up here right around 380.50 that I think is going to be the next one we got to look out for. And then this one up here at 389. Yesterday was Tuesday. Bro, you see the $31 million bet? That's what reversed it. Okay, so that's what people are saying. Now, when I read that first, it literally just looks like somebody tried to gamma the SPY with $31 million. Now, thinking about it depends on how many contracts they have and how many shares and the notional exposure that needed to actually get hedged. So you would need to know the amount of shares that were controlled, what was the delta on those contracts, and what would then potentially need to get hedged for. $31 million is a lot, but like it's not like $100 million bet came in and was screwing around with the SPY. I think that's a little bit of nonsense from Wells Fargo over there. So it could have, it could not have. I mean, you didn't really see any big follow through to the downside. You really didn't. So if I happen to have a small lottery win, you could shift the SPY. It really, I mean, apparently, according to that little news piece that came out there, but realistically, no, you can't do it. Will Elon sell off Tesla to buy Twitter? You got to wait for the court document to come out, which it might have. I haven't seen it yet. I honestly am not really I'm not paying all that much attention to it. Either way, Tesla's probably not going to react positively. Just either way. Elon's screwing around, doing his thing. It's already sold off pretty significantly. I would not expect Tesla to have a very fun time with this Twitter deal going through. Now, there's a couple of other things that we need to talk about here too, and everybody was all butthurt about this, but here's what they need to do. Shut up. That's what they need to do. Here's what happened, and here's what the data says, and you can hate it or not hate it. This is the reality. It has nothing to do with anybody's bias. Weekly retail order flow. Last week was the second largest selling week in the last 5 years. Retail investors are dumping positions out of fear. Now, there's a very, very specific implication of this that has nothing to, it just has to do with market psychology and behavioral economics. When people are selling at the bottom in a big way like this is due to like not being educated. This is what this is. This is fear, panic. Oh no, that's what this is. Bro, I loved all the salty comments on that video. People are obviously selling. Yeah, dude, people are just like, they just can't get it through their heads. They're so brainwashed into being like, no, this is what people are telling me. No, this is the data. This is what the data says. Credit Suisse news panic. Yeah, the Credit Suisse stuff is interesting. I mean, you're seeing the CDSs, the premiums on those really step up. There's going to be some more events that need to happen before you actually see things go crazy. Like, you're not going to see randomly, like, You need to see like something break in the market and then these start to go. It could be the bond market. It could be some weird foreign exchange nonsense that goes on. It could be the real estate market, but nothing's really completely broken yet in order for these funds to really have, or not funds, banks to really have issues yet, in my opinion. But here's what they did. So weekly retail order flow, they sold stocks and then they bought puts at the bottom. Look, retail options traders are in a put protection frenzy. Technically, it's not protection if they've sold their positions. Puts are essentially insurance. That's what it is. When you buy a put, it gives you the right to sell at a certain price. So you can have a boatload of shares of something. You're up a lot. But if you want to insure that position, you buy puts against it. You can actually sell calls to finance those puts, and that's called a collar. You can do it for no cost too. If you balance them out, that's called a zero cost collar. So you basically have upside up to X price and downside to X price. And it's for free. You're basically putting a window and brackets on your position completely for free if you can set it up correctly. You probably won't be able to because you're not going to be able to get the premiums to line up perfectly, but it'll be relatively inexpensive. Reverse repo? Probably not, no. So what they've done here is that they've seen the market go down from 431, which remember, we were spot on calling that thing 430, 431. We were going to see that rejection back down. And then that's what we saw. So everybody who like sort of knows what they're talking about was calling for the move down then. And again, the thing is that people don't seem to understand is that now is not the time to start getting out of positions. The time to get out of positions was here. You can look back and say hindsight's 2020. It is, but what it also tells you is that this is not the time to be getting out. This is not it. As soon as Powell opened his mouth and said taper and rate hikes, done. That was when the cord should have been pulled in long-term investments. Was it? I mean, it eventually did. But that doesn't mean that now this is now the time to sell. There's a time and a place. Right now, the ideal like strategy is very slow dip buying. That's what it is. It's not selling. There was a time, it's past. You missed the boat. Cool. It is what it is now. So we also had OPEC news today, and you guys saw the oil plays that we hit this morning that were absolutely filthy. I mean, I could have held them, but I wanted to lock in my gains, a little 28%er off the bat today. Nice and easy. So here's what OPEC's done. So I also watched the OPEC meeting and it was wild. They were talking so much shit towards the US. Knew nothing back then, was just piling. Ugh, that's tough, man. I mean, that's again, like it is what it is. So OPEC and non-OPEC partners on Wednesday agreed to impose deep output cuts, seeking to spur recovery in oil prices despite U.S. pressure to pump more. Crude prices have fallen to roughly $80 a barrel from more than $120 in early June amid growing fears about the prospect of a global economic recession. See, that statement there, amid fears of a global economic recession, we already know. So that's not necessarily the reason why oil's falling. It's just price manipulation across the board. So now when OPEC comes out, so here's the thing with the oil trade that you have to be careful of. We've been talking about oil, natural gas for a while. There's a time and a place, and if you're going to do it, you need to get a lot more time because oil is going to be wildly aggressive. It is very possible right now that over the next 2 weeks that the United States comes out and releases more oil from the SPR. To try and add some more supply to the market to counteract what OPEC is doing. If that news comes out, oil's coming back down. That is the risk with oil. Natural gas, liquid natural gas, little different, same deal though. That's the risk with oil. Be careful. Dipping back into the reserves. Yeah, the United States, okay, this is the funny thing. So if you pay attention to the news, you can see if you watch sequences of events, how much bullshit is just fed through everything. If you look at one news thing, you'll be like, oh, that's fine. But if you look at like a sequence of events, you'll be like, oh, these people are fucking around. First, the SPR gets to like the lowest level in like years. So, but that essentially means is that the United States has a very low amount of oil reserves. Right. Not that much with the reserve left. It's still a lot, but they have to refill eventually. Here's where it gets interesting. So they then say, I believe, I'm trying to think of this, how it went. So they then say they want to buy oil at 80 a barrel. Then the market takes that as, oh, that's the bottom, and then just starts bidding up oil. And then what does the United States do? They release more. So then they try and push the price of oil back down so that they can buy it to refill the reserves that they're not actually going to refill yet because of what OPEC's doing. It's all, this is the thing you have to understand. Every single market. Okay, here's a really good example. There are people that cheat in college sports, players, referees, whatever. It's low levels of money involved. Okay? Low levels of money involved. It's not crazy. It might be a lot to some people. It might be a little bit to some other people who are whales. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not crazy. But there is cheating going on. Do you think, with what's at stake in the political environment in terms of power, wealth, influence, that they're not going to cheat, scheme, steal, lie, manipulate their asses off? That would be a naive thing to think. They're going to manipulate things all over the place. So here's what we can do. We can read the news as it comes out, make our money in the markets, and then fuck off. Like, the oil trade may be rough short-term, long-term, there's problems. I mean, they're going to mess around with it a lot. There's going to be a lot of messing around with oil going into midterms and winter. Thanks for all the likes tonight, people. I appreciate that. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream. Helps out a whole lot over here, team, getting these streams out to more people. We didn't go live last night. I made 2 videos for you guys. I do have to live life sometimes during the week. I do like to go do things sometimes, but I do like to do these streams with you guys too. And again, keep asking questions. And again, if you guys do want to join us over there, the best place to come and learn how to trade. The algorithms are absolutely slaughtering it, dude. We have some crazy things coming out for you guys already. The streams, the education is completely unmatched by anything out in the market. If you guys want to come hang out with us, there is the link right there. Make sure you guys go check that out. Click that link. Join us up in there. We have Algo, modern day Jim Simons, just building these algorithms that just like spark the stock market. Takes the emotions completely out of the trade. It's ridiculous. For those of you guys that are already in there, you guys, the 1348 is fired. Doug Tanner, appreciate that, man. But looking at tomorrow. So here's what we have going into tomorrow. And these are the things that are going to be important. 100% Alg's the GOAT. There we go. Appreciate that, team. So tomorrow, jobless claims, continuing claims. So if we get a jobless claims number that is lower than expected, we are probably going to see the market sell off because of a couple of things. This right here. If the jobless claims numbers, which is essentially telling you how many people are filing for unemployment benefits, meaning people getting out of the workforce, if that number is less, it means that more people are in the workforce. We already saw today that average like yearly salaries are up like, I think it was 7.8%. So people are making more money and there's more people employed. It's not what the Fed needs. And that's not what's going to help them get to a place where they can pivot. Now, if this 62 point, so let's refresh this here. What is it at now? If this 67.8% probability, this is the probability for a 75 basis point rate hike. If this starts shooting, you're probably going to see the market come down because part of what this rally is that one piece of data from job openings, and everybody's calling for the Fed pivot. So we got more data today that basically said, nonsense on the Fed pivot. And if we get more data tomorrow, you could see it start to come in the other direction. Now, if you see a beat, meaning that there's more claims than what's expected, then you might see the market run, and the narrative of the Fed pivot is going to start coming back. In my mind, I will be screaming bullshit the entire time, which is, I mean, maybe I'll play the upside if that ends up happening, but you have to read the situation as it is. Are things even close to getting better? No. Is there a lot of money on the sidelines that needs to get put to work? Yep. They're going to start trying to throw it back in to pump things. Let's see. You're 100% wins in Invictus plays, takes discipline, but fire. Dude, Invictus is wild. I've been killing it with Invictus. Disagree. In order to increase unemployment, right, first you need to tighten until the participation rate increases, fill those jobs, lower prices. I mean, you need the late. Are you talking about, okay, Chris, are you talking about like the actual number of people in the workforce? Or are you talking about the definition of unemployment here? Because if you want the participation rate to go up, which I believe it has, you also, so it's kind of one and the same. If you're going to see more people in the workforce, average hourly earnings have continued to go up. Fuzzy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Hey, brother. Also, Fuzzy, I have it here somewhere. I still, in my new spot, I have the what you sent me, the 3D cutout. I still have that. It's here somewhere. I gotta find it. Do we think that 10 million barrels dumping into the market, holding out the price of oil, is running to the, who's dumping 10 million barrels of oil? Let's see. Number of people in the workforce has to increase. Yeah, but like I would disagree with that. If BS happens, there's an overall downtrend on the daily. Could see a pump to 385 to 410, but a deeper dump after. If it peaks at 410, that's fine. That's still lower than 430. If it comes back to 430, then you're in real no man's land. Because then it's like, all right, everything is being crazy. Yeah, who's dumping 10 million? I don't think that would be all that wild. Like OPEC's decreasing by like 2 million a day. Sold my home in Idaho, bought a house in MO, basically outright, doing fantastic. Staying at home, trading full time, studying hard for that Series 65. There you go, buddy. There you go. Yeah, what do you need? Like the 65, 7, SIE, all that jazz. Those will be good luck, Fuzzy. You'll do great, man. You will do great, dude. Dumping. Okay, 10 million more from the reserves. Yeah, I mean, that could have a little bit of an effect. I mean, that's what we were talking about just now. I didn't even know he was doing that yet, but it makes sense in response to what was happening with OPEC when they're going to cut output. Is your Discord more about day trading or short squeeze plays? It's actually not about short squeeze plays at all. It's about compounding gains, proprietary trading algorithms, the proper way to be like managing risk in the market, swing trading, day trading. If you need to trade shares, we talk about long-term investing. We talk about broad economics all the time. And it's an awesome community of people helping each other take control of their portfolios and not being subject to all of the nonsense that is out there on social media of basically wrong information being fed out. Fair enough. Thanks. What'd you say, Don? Oh, 410. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. But what's the dollar up to? Also, what are futures at right now? My computer's freaking out. Futures slightly green. Yeah, watch that 3,800 on the SPX. That could get interesting here. Doing the Lord's work, bro. Keep it up. I'm trying, man. We're trying to get the word out to everybody. I mean, the amount of success that people have been having, we've been basically biting the bullet since January, trying to help people make sure that they're able to take full advantage of everything that's going on in the market here. We've been very successful at it so far. I mean, getting people up to speed on exactly how to trade. And we're gonna keep doing it, man. I mean, we have a lot of awesome things coming that we haven't unveiled to everybody, and they're really, really awesome. So if you guys want to get in there, the link is in the top of the live chat. I mean, we'd love to have you, man. So starting with $800 is a good start towards your trading strat. Yeah, you could definitely do that. I would say there's two things. So we can talk a little bit about trading psychology and numbers. There's two things that I would say, Donald. There's two things. One, if you've never traded before, which this is kind of a fork here, but you wanna paper trade options if you have no experience with options to enter and exit trades. But it's paper trading is not about the growth on your account. It's literally just about navigating your broker and getting the hang of a strategy and seeing how charts move. What paper trading is not going to give you is any emotional intelligence on how you react to actual risk out there in the market. Now, here's the other thing. Your starting amount. Can you start with 800? Absolutely, you can. Absolutely, you can. But here's what you have to keep in mind. You then have to be very disciplined. I don't know how much you make at your job right now and how much you're expecting to make every day from trading. If you make 1% on your account, you're going to make $8, which is great. But here's the kicker. You have to understand the long-term math of compounding. Okay, what the hell was that flash on the dollar there? That was a bit weird. You have to understand the long-term math of compounding and where that will take you. Because if you see an 8, maybe even let's say you made $80 in a day, that's 10% on your account. That's a difficult thing to do if you're sizing with proper risk management, which we teach you how to do in every single in all the curriculum videos that we have. I believe there's like 10 to 15 of them there, plus all the live streams you can ask questions. But you have to think about it in a certain way. You're not going to just start randomly making $300-400 a day. You have to be okay with taking those small gains and compounding your account in order to have success. Does that make sense? Because you can't then say, I made 1% in a day, which is awesome. Think about if you made 1% on a $100,000 account. You made $1,000. It's great. On a smaller account, it's going to feel a little bit different. And if you let that get a hold of you, you could overtrade. So that's what you have to be a little bit careful of. The percentage gain is what matters, not the dollar amount. That's what you have to figure. That's what you have to learn. It's all about percentages, numbers on a screen and percentages. SPX running. Yeah, I mean, futures were up. They just shot up. Yeah, you just cracked that 3,800. This is a bit strange. This is a bit strange. There we go. Yeah, I don't see anything coming through the news feed right now. I mean, they popped a little bit. It's also futures. They don't really matter. Unless you're trading futures, they don't matter. Like, let's see. Let's see. Yes, absolutely. Made a lot of money in short skis plays, but I've never actually traded with a strategy. Thank you for that. I'll check it out. Awesome, man. I mean, if you can, so here's the deal. I mean, this is the thing that's beautiful about our strategy and our algorithm. So here's what I actually want to show you guys. Pythagoras. Speaking about short squeeze plays, if you throw this up on the daily time frame, I'll show you when Pythagoras said he was getting in. It was, where was the big boom? I think it was this one. Yeah, it was this one. Pythagoras was in here. around between 6 and 7. Before anybody started talking about this, the new algorithm that we released to you guys was already in it. And he made a shitload on Bed Bath & Beyond. So the beauty about the strategy is that if that's what you want to do and chase some of those plays, again, learn how to manage risk, make it free. You'll hear me talk about that all the time. But anytime something crazy is going to pop off, our strategy will tell you when it's going to pop off. You grow 1K to 6K in around 3 months, but you did better than your 2% a day. Yeah, I mean, you guys have been killing it, man. You guys have been doing awesome. So yeah, you want to hop in there with us? We'd love to have you. There's a lot of awesome stuff coming for you guys. I can't say exactly what it is yet, but we've got some cool stuff coming. We're gonna take you all to the next level. You're all coming with us too, which that's a little hint. It's a little hint right there. But yeah, so going into tomorrow, futures are green right now. You're tapping these levels up here. So you're kind of tapping this little resistance level here. Let's see if they hold. If you see this nice little move up, you could end up seeing the market run all the way up to 385 or 390. And if you look at this on the 4-hour time frame here too, it crossed. I think that's different. Yeah, a little different here. So this has real-time data on it, so it hasn't crossed yet. Futures will probably help this cross here with the SPY on the 4-hour, but you could see upside too right around 390, which is also that next resistance level, the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. So watch out for that. But yeah, it's all about compounding, people. That's all it is. And here's the deal. If you end a day green, it doesn't matter what dollar amount it is. It really doesn't even matter what percentage it is. If you end green and follow your rules in a system, this is what we were talking about on the one-on-ones today. Because we do those all the time. We want to make sure that you guys are getting your questions answered. So we do one-on-ones with all you guys twice a week. So one of the things that was coming up in the one-on-ones is kind of jumping back and forth between like strategies and something else. In order to have consistency in the market, you need to trade and think consistently. You can't just jump around. You have to hone in and act the same and have your process be the same when you're entering every single trade. Your process has to be consistent. Your execution has to be consistent. And that's how you get consistent results. So let's see here. SPY, again, you have this resistance level up here, 388, from back here, this little bottom. Boy, that run up to 414. I mean, again, I don't personally, I think this is a nice little relief rally, but I don't think the market's bottomed yet. You're going to get CPI next week. You're going to see a lot of crazy stuff. Become the algorithm. Hey, you can. I mean, we have Pythagoras, Trader Joe, Invictus. Invictus is so filthy, dude. Like I can't even, it's such a cheat code. It should not like I was messing around with Invictus yesterday with Apple and Nvidia. And I was like, are you kidding me? Today, I was sitting here on my computer and jobs reports due tomorrow. And I watched the Invictus alerts come in and I was like, yeah, I don't really like the market here. And then I entered the trades late and I still made a bunch of money. And I was like, okay, I'll just let the algos tell me what to do. They know better than I do. There's no emotions on those things. You see a rejection, but on what news? That's the thing. It's like, it's so news driven and you have to this point in the market here, what people don't understand is that you have to be so in tune with what things actually mean and what the reaction based on those pieces of news are actually going to do. Oil, easy to spot today. OPEC cuts output, less supply in the market. Oil prices are probably going to go up. We can slaughter Exxon all day long or Oxy or anything else. Exxon was sweet today. Where it becomes more difficult is with these broader market moves. It takes some time to learn, but all of you guys can do it. And I hope a lot of you guys are starting to learn from some of the things that we've been teaching you about. So when you look at jobs numbers, inflation data, GDP, all of that nonsense, they all have very important implications in different ways that they're going to affect overall behavior in the market. Jobs numbers have been very important. People have been watching the labor market like a hawk. How can you tell that? Well, one piece of news from the job market comes out and everybody on the media starts talking about a pivot. That's a bit weird. Oh boy. Oh boy. We have somebody trapped in the echo chamber. That's okay. They'll see the light eventually. You have 110 calls for Exxon this week? What are you buying 110 calls for? I was like 12% out of the money. You really needed this equals that curriculum? That's the sometimes it changes. Sometimes it changes. That's the issue with some of these things. They'll change sometimes. A great example, TLT. Oh, I love it. Robert, click the link in the top of the live chat, buddy. Let's see. The crowd isn't the place to be either. No. Oh my God, we have so many people with their head in the sand and they just can't see it. That's sad. All right, team. So like TLT recently has been a very, very interesting one where typically when you see the reaction on TLT and SPY, it has a very, very easy to spot relationship. One moves up, the other goes down. But it's disjointed. That's the thing. Some things change. Like typically, if you were to see like unemployment go up, that would be bad. But then in this case, in this overall like economic environment, if you see job number like unemployment go up, that then means the Fed can pivot, stop raising rates, get less tight, and markets can run. It's backwards nonsense that you have to understand. SPY needs to eat Chipotle. I mean, it could. It could. Let's see. Oh, here we go. We're going to say one more thing. Robert, I hope you realize that coming into my stream at 8:22 p.m. on a Wednesday night just makes you a little cuck. You have the intellect of an ant. You are a nobody. You can come in my live stream and talk nonsense all you want. But you know what that's going to change in my life? Zero. So keep going. Where does reverse repo come into play with all this rate hike stuff? It doesn't really. Got tag teamed. That's fine. Everybody, drop a like on the stream for Robert. Oh, you're almost at 100 likes. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, team. So if I can only be on my phone a few times throughout my workday when the market is open, will this work? Or do you need to actively be able to trade daily? No, it'll definitely work. You just have to find the strategy that works for you. Now, what that's most likely going to be is either trading shares or getting a lot of time on your contracts and playing with Pythagoras or Trader Joe. That's most likely what it's going to be. But yeah, the dangers of opening this publicly. Oh, dude, you think I care? No. Let's see. 1348 for life. Yeah, baby. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. You fell asleep today with $8 riot calls. Not saying any better than the Exxon position. I don't know what Riot's at. I mean, Bitcoin was looking interesting for a bit, I thought, but what happened with Riot today? Oh, you got slapped. That's the other thing. If you fall asleep while you're trading, nobody can really help you there, buddy. Nobody can really help you there. Oh, we're 2 likes away. Dude, imagine if we got to 100% like ratio on the night stream. That'd be wild. But yeah, I mean, you look at all this, the 10-year, well, 10 years down today. That's kind of weird. That's weird. That's a bit strange. What'd the 2-year do? Where was open? Right here? A little okay, a little shark fin there. Oh, that must have been on the drop. Yeah, okay, I remember this. Thoughts on SoFi? Um, Here's the deal. What we are most likely gonna have to do, everybody listen up. This is really important. The next 10 years in this market could potentially be an absolute shit show. If the central banks do not execute any sort of landing in a somewhat decent way, the market is going to be an absolute disaster. So here's how you solve this. Ortex on SPY. Shut up. I don't even have Ortex anymore. Here's how you solve this. What you need to do is find companies that are very, very strong on the balance sheet. Very strong. So you're gonna have to learn how to read a balance sheet. I can't really tell you what I think of Lucid or SoFi right now. I can tell you what it looks like technically. Technically, it looks like shit. On the 4-hour, it looks okay. It could jump. On the daily, it looks pretty terrible. But that's what you are gonna need to have to be able to do. Read balance sheets. Robert, I stream every day, man. I'm with the team. So here's what we've done. We've made sure that all of the people that have shown that they are really, really willing to come and learn how to trade and are really motivated to take control of their portfolios and actually put the time in and learn, watch the curriculum, ask questions, and fully buy into the system and really understand the ins and outs of it. We want to make sure that they have the most attention that they can get. So I'm doing my streams from 8:45 to 10:30 every single day. Then I'm on again at 2. Then I get videos out for you guys in the afternoon, and then streams at night or videos. Depends. Yeah, 2 to 3 times a day. But that's essentially what you're going to have to do in this type of marketplace. Could it be a SoFi? It could be. But we are potentially headed into a very, very, very wild time. Switch to Twitch? No. I didn't switch to Twitch. I'm there all the time. It's in Discord, buddy. Sam Lee, thanks for the super, buddy. I appreciate that. Join us. SV makes us pay for his Chipotle with our gains every day, though. Sam, thanks for the super, but that's not true at all. What actually happens is somehow you're in my brain taking the same trades that I do, even though I don't say it. So I appreciate it, but you're just spreading nonsense here now, Sam. And guess what? You know what I eat today these days? I eat like sweet green. I eat like quinoa bowls, bro. You know what Chipotle does to me? You want me to go into detail on what Chipotle's been doing to me? I don't think so. But yeah, all of you guys and all you members have been killing it, man. I can't like the amount of like when you guys send me those screenshots of how much you've made in the last month and what you guys have been actually able to do with your gains. Those of you guys who have taken that leap, come in with us with the system. It's been crazy, man. Like it's wild. Some of you guys in your gains, it's like, really, bro? Save some money for the fucking rest of us. Like, so if you guys want to join, you guys know where to find us. The link's in the top of the live chat over there. But Chipotle is life. Yeah, it is. But not, you can't, I went through my phase. Dude, there were days where I was eating Chipotle twice a day. But do you guys have any other questions before we start wrapping it up for the night? When SCP scratches his ear twice, he's buying calls. No, that's not how it works. When I go quiet, I'm usually doing something. Like today with the Exxon thing, I was quiet. They charge you $3 for guac. I can buy a 5-pack of avocados for $3. Yeah, but they put some rands, dude. Telling you, they put the juice in it. They put some nice stuff in it. Tesla TA, yeah, I got you on that one. I got to do it on TradingView though, because the way Webull presents it is just nonsense. So on the thing is that you can do a bunch of like analysis on Tesla, but it's really going to come down to what this Twitter, any more news on the Twitter deal. I think people are going to be very hesitant to buy Tesla until the nonsense with the Twitter deal is going to be finalized. And I think you'll get a pretty solid buying opportunity there. I think you will. If you look at this back here, Tesla has not breached these new lows. It could, especially if you catch this next market cycle down and Tesla's still hanging down here as the market starts to come up and then make that move back down. Oh my God, Robert, thank you for confirming to me that most people are just stupid. Why are flash candles important? It depends. Usually the flash candles are nonsense and it has to do with some glitch. People like to say they're dark pool stuff. It could be, it could not be. I don't really pay attention to them. I really just look for it to see if it's actually like a real order going through. If it's not flash candles, I mean, I talk about them in different ways where it could be, you could be catching flash candles where you see like a knife candle to the downside. I mean, it's just like a term that I use. But usually it's just a little bit of nonsense happening with the order book. Let's see. What's this guy doing in suits these days? Suit up, man. All right, guys. So that is going to wrap it up for tonight. Again, we'll probably be back on here tomorrow. And again, for all of you guys that want to come join us in the streams, get access to these algorithms that are just absolutely game-changing, live, everything, man. The curriculum, Invictus, the predictive algorithms. Here's that link right there. Come join us if you're ready. But again, I think we could easily see a little bit more market upside tomorrow, but be very, very careful with those jobs numbers coming out at 8:30. Those are going to be very interesting. So if they come out lower than expected, then you're probably going to see the market come down. If they come out higher than expected, you're probably going to see the market come up. But I will see all of you people at 8:45 a.m. Eastern. As usual, let's go make some more money. It's a Thursday. Be careful. Don't do any willy-nilly nonsense. I know some of you guys like to do it. You shouldn't, because it's nonsense. And again, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button on the way out. Peace.